in today, and there's a new word that they're gonna ask you about, and you will see it on Practice Buddies. But like I said, if we can't get onto Practice Buddies because the internet's not working, then you don't have to do Practice Buddies. Like, I'm not gonna force you to do something if the internet's not working, but you will eventually be able to get onto it. So this is the new word that we need to teach you. Partial products, underline that. Now let's talk real quick about what that means. So all eyes up here. Partial products. Well, you should know product means answer to a multiplication problem. So you know half of what this is. And do you see this word within a word says part? So basically what it's saying is part of the answer to a multiplication problem, okay? It's not saying the whole product. It's saying, say this word, part of the product, okay? And I think that'll make sense in just a minute. So on your scrap paper, write 282 times 19. $282 times 19. And remember, you don't have to do this, but I suggested yesterday how you could turn your paper if you want to. Okay, that's only if you want to. Okay, here we go. I need everybody's help. 9, I'm going to give the 9 to the 2, the 9 to the 8, and the 9 to the 2. So let's start with the first 9 to the 2. What's that going to get me? 18. Carry a 1. Now this one's a little harder. 9 times 8, do you remember that one? 72 plus 1 more would be 73. Carry a 7. And 9 times 2 is 18 again. Plus, I have to add that 7. So what would 18 plus 7 more be? 25. Okay, now let's stop. They're actually wanting you on number 1 to write that number in. And it's got an arrow to it. And that arrow says, read that to me right there. What does it say? Multiply by the what? Ones. Now I need to see your eyes. Multiply by the ones means that number right there, because that number is in the ones place. But what number is this right here? That is not a 1. That's actually 10 because it's in the what place? Tens. What does that say right there? Multiply by the tens. Okay, that's what we're getting ready to do. So erase your carries. Mark out that 9 because you don't need them anymore. And since you're multiplying by the tens, you have to have a 0 there. You have to. That's what it means to multiply by the tens. Is everybody getting that? Okay. Because that's really not a 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 8 is 8. And 1 times 2 is 2. And they're wanting that as well. 2820. Now, this is what you just did. You gave me part of the answer. Now, where's the answer going to really be? Down here after we do what? After we add it. But you've given me, I hope you're catching this because this is on the back too. This and this, you've given me part of the product. The way I look at it, it's like a sandwich. And this part up here is the bread. And this part down here is the bread. And this part in the middle would be like the ham and the cheese and the turkey and the lettuce and the tomato, okay? That's actually, or a burger, yeah, it's the meat. Are y'all tracking with me? It's the meat. And what do we call the meat part? Say this word, partial product. So now let's add. 8 and 0 is 8. 3 and 2 is 5. 5 and 8 is 13. 2 and 2 is 4, plus 1 more would be 5. And that's your actual product. Not part of your product. It is your product. Okay? It is. Shake your head if that kind of makes sense. Okay? Let's do another one. 538 times 46. Okay, let's make this a little competition between the girls and the boys. Let's see who wins. So we should probably let the ladies go first, don't you think? Isn't that the mannerly way to do it? Okay, ladies, we got to give the 6 to the 8, the 6 to the 3, and the 6 to the 5. So ladies, what would 6 times 8 be?
48.
Good. 48. Carry a 4. I only hear one lady though. Ladies, plural. What's 6 times 3? 18. Plus 4 more would be 22. Carry a 2. Ladies, 6 times 5 would be 30. Plus 2 is 32. Guess what? You just gave me part of the product because we multiplied by our ones. Now erase those carries. Erase that, or get rid of that 6. You don't have to erase it. Are you doing this, Kiara? Because it doesn't look like it. And put a placeholder 0. Now let's hear from the boys. Boys, I got to give the 4 to the 8, the 4 to the 3, and the 4 to the 5. So let's start by giving the 4 to the 8. What's 4 times 8 going to be? What? 32. Good. Excuse me. Carry a 3.
12.
4 times 3 would be 12. Plus 3 more. Hold on. Let me get the question out. Would be 15. Carry a 1. And then 4 times 5 would be 20. Plus 1 would be 21. And by the way, they want this. 21,520. That's part of the product. That's the partial product. Now what do we have to do? Add them up. So here we go. 8 and 0 is 8. 2 and 2 is 4. 5 and 2 is 7. 3 and 1 is 4. And 2 and nothing is 2. So there's your final answer. Your final answer. The good news is you only have about 7 on the front to do, so this is going to go faster, and then we'll turn to the back. Eric, pick a number. 3 to 10. The hardest one. 6. 154 times 35. This ought to be easy because we're multiplying times 5s and 3s. 5s and 3s are pretty easy, don't you agree? Yeah. It's when you get like to 6s and 7s and 8s and stuff that aren't as easy. Okay, holler it out if you know it. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry a 2. 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 2 more would be 27. Good. Carry a 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 2 more would be 7. Now let's get rid of those carries, because if you don't, that will mess you up. Then you'll think it's part of the next problem, won't you? Yeah, and you don't want it to be. So mark that 5 out. Don't forget your placeholder 0. And now we're multiplying times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry a 1. Now stop for a minute, okay? Stop for a minute and look. Do you remember right here before my carry was a 2? Do you remember that before? What if I hadn't erased that? Then really I'm supposed to be carrying a 1, but I don't really know which one to add. So do you see why it's so much easier to just get rid of that 2? So you know that you're really only supposed to add 1 to it, okay? Are you agreeing with me on that? Okay, here we go. 3 times 5 would be 15. Let me get the question out first. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus 1 more would be 16. Carry a 1. And 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 1 more is 4. Now let's add. You add, and you put the answer right there on number 6. Because it's not fair for a couple of people to do all the work. What'd you get, Miss Hope? Not 1,000, is it? No, I got 5,390. Do y'all agree?
Yes.
Yeah, 5,390 is what you should have got. Okay, Brooklyn, last one I'm going to do on the front.
8.
Number 8, 324 times 71. Pardon me? Yeah, the 1s are going to be easy. The 7s will be hard. Okay, here we go. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. So easy. Get rid of that 1. There were no carries that time, so we're just going to put a placeholder 0. Okay, help. 7 times 4 would get you 20 what?
28.
28, good. Carry a 2. 7 times 2 gets you 14, plus 2 more gets you 16, carry a 1. Okay, let me get the question out, okay? 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 more is 22. Now add. Hey, Miss Jakely, what'd you get, sister?
23,004.
Pull your mask down a little bit. 23,000 what?
23,004.
Do y'all agree? 23,004? That's kind of hard to say, isn't it? Because what did it look like this? 23,004.
Yeah.
You know what you're not supposed to say? Let me refresh your memory. You're not supposed to say and. So do you remember you only say and when you get to what? A decimal. So this is hard to say, 23,004. But what do we want to say? 23,004. We want to add an and to it, don't we? But we're really not supposed to. Good, Jacqueline. On the back, number 11. Number 11 says, is 2,750 a reasonable answer? There's our key word, reasonable, for 917 times 33. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of check it like we did yesterday to see if it even makes sense. So Kiara, let's start with you. What do you want to call 917?
917 would be 9.
You mean 900? Yeah, I agree. 900. Luke, what do you want to call 33, bud? 30. I agree. Now tell me what to do, Mr. Collin. What do I do next?
900 times 30.
I know. How do I do that?
On Saturday.
I was hoping you would just say multiply 9 times that 3. What do you do when you multiply? What do you get when you multiply 9 times 3, class? 27. Write that. Am I done? No. What am I going to add now?
0.
How many? 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
So we should have got an answer that's close to 27,000. Here's the question. Did we?
No.
Ooh, that's tricky, isn't it? Because when I first saw the 27, I compared to that 27 and I was thinking, this is going to be good. But what number is this? 2,750. What's this? 27,000. Is that even in the same ballpark? No. So first off, your answer is no.
It's 1,500.
25,000 off. Okay, now look, you remember how we did it yesterday? We made a big O greater than sign,
Yeah.
and then we made 2750 be kind of little bitty. It's way bigger than that. It's not even reasonable at all. No, no, and no. It doesn't make sense.
12.
Doesn't even make sense at all.
That's why you're going to do a whole answer.
That's how you gotta do what?
The whole.
The whole answer. Number 12. Here's these new words I told you today. What does this say? Partial products. So guess what? It doesn't want the answer. It wants the meat. It wants the turkey, the ham, the lettuce, the tomato. Are y'all y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Up here's the bread. That's the problem. Down here's the bread. What's the low bread? The real answer, it wants the meat part, okay? So we don't even have to add it up. We do have to work it out. We just don't have to add it up. So 513 times 46. Is that helping turn in your paper like that? It makes sense? Good. I'm glad. Okay. Holler it out if you know the answer. 6 times 3 is going to be 18. Carry a 1. Good. I'm proud of y'all. I can tell some of you know your multiplication. I can tell some of you don't. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus 1 more is 7. And 6 times 5 is 30. Guess what? That's one of our partial products. That's part of our answer. Now get rid of your carry. Get rid of your 6. And what do I have to do now?
0.
Placeholder 0. Gosh, don't forget that. Now we're multiplying times 4. 4 times 3 gets me
12.
12, carry a 1. 4 times 1 gets me 4, plus 1 is 5. And 4 times 5 gets me what? 20. Guess what? That's your second answer. That's your second answer. I don't want the bread or the bread. I just want the meat. Okay, give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay, good. Good, good, and good. So we don't even have to work it all out. We're done. Seems kind of weird, doesn't it? Yeah, not to do the whole thing. Number 13. How many kilometers could this is important information. What car? The red car. I think we should underline that. I think that's important. How many kilometers could the red car travel in? What does this say right here?
12
hours. I think that's important. That's real important information. And you know what else is important? It says write an equation. That's important as well. So now let's look at our chart. Why is it important that we know the red car? Why was that important? Because of what's on the chart.
The red and
There's a red and a yellow car. So we know not to look at the yellow car.
It's too much.
It's too much information in it. We only need the red car. Now let's read this. The red car's average speed is, say this number, 217 kilometers per, no, I remember yesterday I told you that this lane line meant per, so let's say it correctly. The red car's average speed is 217 kilometers per hour. Does that say 1 hour?
No.
It says what?
12.
12. I need 12 of those. Tell me what to write. Tell me what to write, Xander. I need 12 of those. Tell them what to write.
217 times 12.
Okay, I'm going to teach you something today. That little dot right there can stand for times as well. I don't remember if I told you that yesterday. Did I? Okay, 217 times 12 equals x. And then underneath it, we're going to have to figure out what x equals. So on scrap paper, here we go. 217 times 12.
Wait.
Talk me through it, Mr. Collin. Be my teacher.
2 times 7 equals 14.
Carry a 1.
2 times 1 equals 1 plus 1.
Actually, 2 times 1 is 2.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's okay. So that's 2 plus that 1 would get me 3.
2 times 2 equals 4.
2 times 2 equals 4. Good job. Erase your carries. Erase that, or get rid of that 2 and put a placeholder 0. Now this is going to be easy because we're just multiplying times 1s. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 times 2 is 2. Now let's add. You add it up. I don't want to do this for you. You add it up. And when you get your answer, put it right here for x equals. That's what was missing. That's the missing information. Okay, Kiara, what'd you get?
I got 2,604.
Who agrees with 2,604? Who agrees with that? Y'all do? Okay, good. I like it. I erased this and I shouldn't have. I should have left that, but it's okay. Number 14. And, oh, there's that 12 hours again. I think that's important information. Not just 1 hour, but 12 hours. Ooh, ooh. What does that say right there? How many more? What are we going to do? Subtract. Good. So on top of that, put subtract. Wonder what we're subtracting. Kilometers, the what? Yellow car went, then the red car. Well, we already know the answer for the red car in 12 hours. What do we not know?
The yellow.
The yellow car. Somebody tell me what to do. Luke.
First, you're going to put 214 times 12.
I totally agree. Now this is what he did. He took the yellow car and we're going to have to multiply that times 12. That's the first thing. We're going to freeze for a minute. After we figure out the yellow car times 12, what are we going to do then? Not add, we're gonna subtract the yellow car minus the red car. And we already know the red car. Okay, so here we go, this is the yellow car. Help me, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 2 is 4. No carries that time. Get rid of your 2, put a placeholder 0. 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, you do it. You don't look at my board, you do it. Now add that up really quick. Okay, what'd y'all get?
2,994.
Okay, now it doesn't say write an equation, but let's do this. Okay, so let's start with a parenthesis. And what's the first thing we did for, did y'all say 2,904?
Yeah.
So don't y'all agree 2,904 is bigger than 2,604?
Yeah.
So our first parenthesis should be about the yellow car, not the red car, okay? Because it's a bigger number. So how did we get the answer for the yellow car? What did we do right here? What did we do? What? Tell me the numbers. 200, what? Right here. 42 times what? 12. That's the first thing we did. Now what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to, how many more? What are we going to do? Subtract. What are we going to subtract? The red car. And what did we do to the red car to get this answer? Say it. 217 what? Times 12 equals what? Equals what? And letter. Equals a letter. X or Y or Z or whatever letter you want to put. Now let's do that. So what did y'all say this was? 2,000 what? 2,904 minus 2,604. And that should be your answer. And you should be able to do that in your head. Gosh, that's easy. There's not even any borrowing. What did you get as your answer, Mr. Zander? Oh dear, that's a really easy problem. What?
460.
I don't agree with that. 2,904 minus, look, everybody look real quick. 2,904 minus 2,604. That wipes out. That wipes out. The only thing you have to subtract is that. Should have got 300. Do y'all agree with me?
Yeah.
300. So up here, you should have had x equals 300.
I did Y.
Why? That's okay. I don't care what letter you use. I think I told you this before though. Don't use this as a letter because what does that actually look like?
1.
A 1. But I wanted that to be an L. But you can't tell the difference, can you?
Yeah.
So don't use L. Guess what else I wanted to use as a letter? But what do you think that looks like? A 0. But I wanted it to be an O. See how you can't tell the difference? So don't use L. You could use Q, but don't use L or O. Okay?
But could you
could
use a
use-
capital letter?
What?
Could you use a capital letter?
We on that, we always use lowercase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't ask me why. Okay, this is exactly like what we did yesterday, and I'm not going to do it for you, but I'm going to talk it through. So put your pencils down and just watch me. This is exactly like the rectangular patio that we had yesterday, only the numbers are different. So it's 332 times 39. Don't write this. I'm going to write it, and then I'll leave it up here. This is what I want you to do. I want you to think about this. This is the important information. What does it say she already has? 15,000 bricks. So let's pretend like I got a pile of 15,000 bricks right here, and I'm wanting to make something out of bricks. And whenever I get this answer, okay, if this answer is, it's not, but let's pretend. What does this mean? That I need, say this number, I need 20,000 bricks, but I have 15. Do I have enough? No, I'm actually short how many bricks? 5,000. What if the number was this. Say this. I need 14,999. I have 15,000. Do I have enough?
Yes.
In fact, I'm going to have one left over, aren't I?
Yes.
So you've got to multiply this out, and you've got to decide what, not yet, does she have enough bricks, or maybe she has too many bricks, okay? Do you understand? It's the exact same problem we did yesterday. Then, when you get finished, let's say you didn't finish yesterday's paper. You need to go back and finish yesterday's paper. We really need to get on practice buddies, but if your internet's not working, that's not your fault, so we'll try it, okay? Go. We also have a new practice buddy today.